It is official. Declan Rice has signed a 5-year contract with the club Arsenal, and that contract has been worth £105 million. Record transfer for the club Arsenal and record transfer for the English national team. No English national team football player has ever had a transfer that is worth £105 million. Hello everyone, and thank you for being part of the Arsenal chapter, and please subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss out on whatever I've got to bring, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related, right about here at the Arsenal chapter with me, your very host, Abu Carls. For the most reliable information, you can always rely on me. Make sure subscribe and ring that notification bell, as I'm always the first person to give you the information before it goes anywhere. So what has happened just now is that Declan Rice has officially signed for the club Arsenal. It is quite great news. It's definitely big, massive news, as Declan Rice has signed a 5-year contract with the club Arsenal. It's been over the news for some time, but it's not been official. With at first the club West Ham coming out and saying it was taking a bit of time for the football player to sign. For Arsenal to put pen to paper to give them the documentations. Arsenal lawyers took a bit of time to make this deal a deal that is done, sealed, and confirmed. But right about now, we come with great news. I come to you with great news telling you that it is a deal that is done, sealed, and confirmed. Anyway, let's talk about this. Arsenal has already had a few signings and right about now as we speak, it is 3 confirmed signings. Arsenal has already signed Kai Havertz. He's already played for the club Arsenal. Arsenal has already had Urian Timber, who's a deal done, sealed, and confirmed. And right about now, Arsenal has signed yet another big football player, and that is none other than Declan Rice. 3 football players in a row. Definitely, that's quite great news for the club Arsenal. And it is reportedly said that Arsenal is still trying to make sure that they can sign even more football players, and that's quite great news. Reinforcement in the midfield section, in the defense, and also in the forward section is what Mikel Arteta and the technical director of Arsenal, Mr. Edu Gaspar, are trying to do, and it's quite understandable because Arsenal is looking at taking the Premier League title the coming season. It's going to be great news to Arsenal fans, to the entire Arsenal fraternity. You can let us know what you definitely think, as Arsenal have officially signed the football player. And looking at how things are really running, and the fact that it's taken a bit of time. It's taken a bit of time at first, and also the bids that were in, really. The first bid was £80 million for Declan Rice, and West Ham said no to £80 million for Declan Rice. And the second bid was £90 million, and still Arsenal said no. Not Arsenal, West Ham said no, we need more than that. We actually need £120 million. Arsenal put in the third bid, and they beat Manchester City, because all of the 2 clubs, Manchester City and Arsenal, had put in bids worth £90 million. And but by the look of things, Manchester City's bid was a better bid, because they wanted to pay that £90 million within quite a short period of time, while Arsenal were saying 5 years. So when Arsenal realized that there was quite a big trouble in there, Arsenal extended and put in a bid of £105 million, and this £105 million bid is the bid that really got the club going. It's the bid that really took the club to yet another level, and it definitely moved Declan Rice from the club West Ham to the club Arsenal. And it's going to be a very good one, and we're going to be seeing these football players really rotating, because when you see all the football players that he's bought are versatile football players, because when you see Urian Timber, he really plays quite well in the defense and can play very well. Is versatile, really. He can play almost every little bit in the defense section. Looking at Kai Havertz, he's really very confident with his midfield, attacking midfield, central midfield. All of them are definitely okay when he comes to the football player Kai Havertz. And then Declan Rice, he can play as a central defender, he can play as a defensive midfielder, and on rare occasions he can play as an attacking midfielder. And that is really something that Mikel Arteta has been looking at, and the fact that he's trying to solve the problem of depth, really. You can understand why he is doing that. He's trying to solve the problem of depth that was a big problem at the club Arsenal. But also remember, it's not only depth, really. It's also about quality of football players. Arsenal is trying to make sure that they can get the best of football players that are going to compete against Manchester City. We don't know how the table will be. We don't know what will go on. But what we definitely know for a fact is that Manchester City is a big threat. And if you do not have quite big football players, very good football players, you cannot compete, because Manchester City is a club that is going to compete from the very first time to the last moment. From the very first time of the season, beginning of the season, it will win very many games until the last game of the season. So that's what Arsenal really needs to do. And Arsenal started quite well the last season with quite good football players. Started very well, winning. Almost every game that Arsenal played last season was won. And after that, at the beginning of the season, but towards the end of the season, it was a disappointment, towards the end of the season. A few clubs really had to beat Arsenal, and that's how Arsenal did not win the Premier League title. And right about now, Arsenal is really looking at starting the Premier League games by winning them, and ending Premier League games by winning. And that's quite great news, really. It's going to be amazing news for the club Arsenal. It's going to be quite good news and great news because I can anticipate a very good season for the club Arsenal. I can anticipate, because when you see the football players that are in Arsenal right about now, look at the likes of Bukayo Saka, look at the likes of Gabriel Jesus, very good forward. And this time round, Gabriel Jesus is coming. There is no chance that he's going to get an injury, big injury. There could be, but we can rule that out because nobody knows about that. Let's say he's not going to get an injury anyway. And there is still chance, and there is a possibility that Arsenal is going to sign a striker because it's been linked to Victor Osimhen, quite a big number of strikers. But looking at how really things are going, look at Gabriel Jesus in there, and also look at Bukayo Saka. Look at Bukayo Saka, and also look at now the new football players that are in, and all of those that are already there. Look at the defense that has William Saliba in it. Look at the defense that has Ben White in it, and one of the best defenders also comes and joins the club Arsenal, and that's Yuri Timber. And then look at the midfield. Look at Odegaard. There is Odegaard restructuring the midfield. There is Martin Odegaard, and there is Martin Odegaard playing alongside Declan Rice. Declan Rice will be in the midfield, and Kai Havertz also in the midfield. Really, that is gonna be quite a big bang, I must say. It's going to be great news for the club Arsenal come the next season. And every club, this should be a big warning to every club. It's still at the beginning of the season. It's still the beginning of the season. If you do not sign right, then you're out of the rest, because right about now, looking at a club that had quite good football players and saying you can go, and we're looking for better football players. We ended up in the second position with you, but that's not enough. We need the first position. The second position is not good enough, and that's why we're seeing quite a big number of football players really are leaving the club, and it's going to be an amazing moment for the club Arsenal. And I anticipate that Arsenal could probably, fingers crossed, most likely going to win the Premier League title the coming season. Big possibility. But you can let us know what you definitely think, as Declan Rice has already signed. It's a deal that is done, sealed, and confirmed when it comes to Declan Rice. Declan Rice has already signed officially. He's been unveiled by Mikel Arteta. We can see Mikel Arteta has unveiled Declan Rice, and not only has Mikel Arteta unveiled him, but also do not forget that Edu Gaspar has also been available on the official unveiling of the football player, the one and only Declan Rice. And what he brings to the club Arsenal is really something that we are waiting for. We can't wait to see Declan Rice playing for Arsenal. Everybody is waiting for this transfer. Everyone is looking at this transfer saying it's gonna be a big one. But you can tell the quality of the football player really by how much, 105 million pound, 105 million pound. That's the amount of money that Declan Rice cost the club Arsenal. And the fact that he signed a big contract for the football club Arsenal, really, that's quite great news. A lot of time is still available for him to really excel at the club. And the good thing, he's been in the Premier League. It's like buying a finished good, the football player Declan Rice has been playing against big football clubs. He's already played against Arsenal, and Arsenal know how big he is, how a problem he can be to an opponent. And also, he's played against Manchester City, he's played against Liverpool, he's played against quite very many football clubs. And that's the biggest reason as to why he's the best signing, he's the best signing that Arsenal can have, and I think he's the best signing that Arsenal has had right about now, because he's going to bring direct impact. There is nothing like, I've not played in the Premier League, I don't know how it's going to be. It's a test. No, he's already excelled in the Premier League, and he's going to excel one more time. If he's excelled at West Ham, there is nothing that is going to stop him from excelling at the club Arsenal. The fact that he's got a better squad that is surrounding him is got quite big football players, big names really. He's in a big stadium. He's got quite a big fan base, much bigger fan base than what he had before. Definitely that shows you that he's going out quite on a run, and it's going to be big news. It's going to be big news next season when the games officially start. The English Premier League title is going to be a big fight. I mean, you can see almost all these football clubs really are looking at winning the Premier League title. But let's be realistic, really. Who has shopped quite well this summer transfer window? Let's see. As it stands per now, Arsenal is the best club when it comes to transfers. Arsenal has got 3 of the best football players. Kai Havertz is a very good one. Urian Timber in the Eredivisie, he was a king when it comes to defense, and he comes to Arsenal, which is a better club than Ajax Amsterdam. And now Declan Rice comes to Arsenal also, and definitely he's going to be playing for Arsenal and is going to excel. So you've got 3 football players. You've got Declan Rice, you've got Urian Timber, and you've got Kai Havertz in there. Which football club has signed quality football players more than Arsenal right about now? Maybe in the near future because the season is starting, but right about now Arsenal has the best signings in the Premier League. There is no club in the Premier League that has signed better football players as it stands today in right about now more than Arsenal. And also Declan Rice is the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League. When it comes to him and the midfield, really, he is the best in the Premier League. And there's no club that's going to sign a better football player than Declan Rice in the Premier League. There is no way. And that definitely puts Arsenal in a much better position. So you can definitely let us know. You can let me know what you definitely think about Declan Rice, as he has officially signed for the club Arsenal. It is official. It is a deal that is done, sealed, and confirmed, plus delivered right about now. That's what we should say. It is a deal that is done, sealed, confirmed, and delivered. Otherwise, I definitely think it's good news. It's the best news that we have had today. In really, Arsenal is doing quite good, quite well when it comes to transfers, and transfer business at the club Arsenal is doing quite okay. Please subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever I've got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related, right about here at the Arsenal chapter with me, your very host, Abu Carls. And I remind you that Arsenal has had now 3 good signings. One of them being Kai Havertz, who's already signed. The second signing, that was Urian Timber, who has already signed for the club Arsenal and waiting to play. And the third very good football player is none other than the former West Ham £105 million worth football player Declan Rice, who is a magician when it comes to defensive midfield. His play is quite good. Anyway, let us know what you definitely think about the football players. Please subscribe and ring that notification bell. I remain Abu Carls. Thank you and goodbye for now.